I have to burn. Damn it, Fang. Alright. What's going on here? Oh, there's something that's been going on here. I wasn't done with the Yachtigan event, it seems. Oopsie! Oh well. Time to feed the cats and sleep. Wait, hold on. Feed the cats before we leave. Good shit. Buy ship mine parts. Just in case. Got all the scrap we could possibly get. Right, Fang's Bay. Empty. Exactly, Void. Exactly. B+1, baby. There we go. I wanted to save that 6. That's it. No more wasting time. Peak size. And pulls out their slate. They crack open a box on the side of the bay's shutter and wire the slate to what's inside. Maybe your friend has a Hovenage pass card or something inside. Peak shoots you a glance. Something they wouldn't mind to borrow. Let's wait. Peak doesn't look up. We haven't got the time to wait, they sigh. Coming here was a mistake. After a few tense moments, the shutter jerks and begins grinding open, the noise making you jump. Let's get inside. Kate glances around. Quickly! You slip into the dark of the bay, punctuated by the blinking lights of Fang's piles of servers. Somehow, even more disordered than before. Kate makes a beeline for the desk at the center, scattered with tools and components. They flick on a lamp and stare at the mess. Are you sure this person can help us? Yeah! You're interrupted by the sound of footsteps from the entrance. Someone is coming behind you. Big freezes. I could swear I closed the shutter when I left. Fang leans on a stack of servers near the entrance. Must be getting forgetful. He grins at you. Fang! The very same! Fang smiles. Raises an eyebrow. Thought you'd come and rob an old friend? Is that the plan? Where have you been? Fang winks. I have a feeling you know that already. Fang picks up a tool from the server top, turning in the light. I've been investigating the event that hit the station several cycles back. I've heard it called the Flux. Pete cuts in. That's why we are here. Fang smiles, pleased with himself. I guessed as much. Saw the changes in the old system architectures almost immediately. Some of them have been running since the first days of the station. When I saw new patterns, shifts in logic, I knew something must have happened. Ah, something's in my eye. Ah! The flux hit my eyes! Ah! Okay, I think I can see again. These past cycles have been doing a total inventory of core systems, from the hub to the rim. He grins. I've been surprised myself, to be honest. I didn't think I had it in me. Peak seems unamused. What'd you find? Fang sighs. That's the thing. There's something all twisted up in the systems, protocols, but every time I look at it, I just spin right round like a record. You got to put a hat pat. It disappears. Peak finishes. Fang turns to you. Do they always do that? Peak ignores him. It's a shadow protocol. It masks itself somehow, bedding into the gaps between the systems in the negative space. Slowly filling every system in the station, slowly taking over. We need to stop it. You need to grant us access to all the core systems of the station. Rotational control, life support. Fang holds up a hand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there. I don't even know your name. Fang shakes his head. And you're asking for the keys to the castle? Can't be done. Fang, it's me. Fang pauses and glances between both of you. How long have you known this one, Sleeper? I know I owe you, but I also know that you trust too easily. Sorry to say it. Pete cuts in. I can vouch for myself. I came to the Eye on the run from the XPR colony, Hawthorne. The intent to keep running until we hit the starboard belt. Since I've been here, I've done everything in my power to protect this place. I've helped stabilize the refugee flotilla, investigate the flux, identify and make a plan to purge the Shadow Protocol from the station's systems. Meanwhile, Havenage has done everything to stop and slow these actions. I have proven myself as a friend to the people of this station, not the administration, many times over. I will not be doubted by someone who wears the badge of this corrupt administration. Peak fixes Fang with a hard look. Fang looks down at his Havenage jacket and shrugs. All I have in my wardrobe. Look, I have no love for the council either, friend. But if someone who has to run this place, that someone is me. Fang walks over to the workbench where you're both standing and digs a slate at a pile of tools. You want to prove yourself? Show me. Pete grabs the slate. You recognize the tangled form of a flux node on the screen. Pete immediately starts tapping away at it, tendrils unwinding in the shadow, just slightly delayed, slipping out of sight. Fang leans in. Interesting, he says to himself. Before long, Peek has unfolded the system completely. It lies splayed out like an unwound ball of string. At the center, with nowhere left to hide, is the dark stain of the Shadow Protocol, visible for all to see. What now? Fang asks, his eyes fixed on the screen. How'd he kill it? Let's not steal Peek's thunder. There's one entity on the station that we have seen purging the shadow. The Gardener. Fang frowns. Who's that? Some Greenway hacker? Peek glances at you. More like an avatar of the Greenway itself. He explained the Gardener to Fang, the feeling of descending into the river of consciousness. Explained the networked chorus, the non-human collective of voices. All of the farming AIs offer to you. We networked into the chorus, dissolved into its flow. Then you explained that by granting it access to the AI's major networks, you hope to reinforce them. Fang is silent for a moment. You want to let this thing out? He shakes his head. That's the kind of stupid plan I'd dream up. He pauses. I like it. He smiles. This place is rammed with weird protocols and forgotten intelligences anyway. Plus one more ghost in the machine. This one's a plant. You try to limit it, of course, Peek explains. That's why we want your help to access the Eye's major systems, to seed some of the Gardener's spores into them, while the Gardener's focus to those places. Fang whistles. That way we save the Eye by growing mushrooms in all the server stacks. He glances at you. Sleeper, congratulations! You found someone weirder than you! Pete goes to argue, but Fang holds up a hand. In it is an all systems Havenage pass card with his picture on it. Take it! Or I changed my mind. Thank you. Don't mention it. Fang gives you a look. Well, honestly, Sleeper, I was on my way back here to start tearing the place down. Shadow Protocol has me spooked. You're telling me you have figured out a way to fight it? Looks at Peek. No matter how crazy, I'm glad to help. He smiles a tight smile. Come with us. No, Sleeper. He looks away. I have to keep on with my work here. Strengthen those systems, back up the data. Worst comes to worst, I'll need to rebuild. I won't let this place die. Last pieces of my parents are here, among the data. Goodbye, Fang. Fang embraces you firmly. Stay safe, Sleeper. You take the card and leave the bay with Peek. Once you're outside, they stop you. We should split up. Peek looks worried. We've wasted enough time as is. Head to the facilities in the hub, Respoke, and far side of the shipyard. Seed the Gardener there. I'm gonna find the core control center that's somewhere on the rim. They hold up their slate. I'll send you a message on your slate when I have something. Good luck. They squeeze your shoulder. You exchange fearful looks. You know, deep down, the peak isn't sure this will work, but they have decided to act. To move with confidence. And for that confidence, you are very thankful. I need so many spore? Oh, I need 1 spore per system. I see. Okay. I was about to say, oh god, do I need 3 spores each? Now I'm annoyed that I didn't get more spores. Okay, I don't want to burn a 6 on that. I'm gonna use my 6 to help the flotilla. "100% positive." As you stop to rest in one of the Pilgrim Seed's cavernous bays, hopping up to sit on a supply crate, you hear a now familiar voice behind you. "Sleeper, glad you're here." Soul Suit hisses as he clinks up towards you. "I knew you'd help us out. Sure to appreciate everything you do for us." "Building up to something?" Soul shoots you a sideways look. "See, that's what I like about you, Sleeper. Straight to the point. No messing." He smiles a sly smile. Soul settles beside you, flinching a little, but making himself comfortable on the crate. "Seems the word got out, this way or that." He nods towards the welders a little way off, one of them wearing shipyard overalls. "We've had people flowing in from the eye, looking for a place. In truth, it's more than I thought." Full size. Means more mouths to feed, more bodies to house, more people to protect. It's good, right? Good for those that can get a place, maybe. Soul frowns. And none of this is good for anyone. We were supposed to stay here, not to keep running. Soul waves you away the thought. "Don't listen to me." He gives you a sideways glance. "Just a tired old man." He stretches. "I have to ask something, though." "What is it?" "All these evacuees will need a change in plan." He shrugs. "Pilgrim Seed can't do it alone. We need the others to help out. We can carry them, house them. That's all. Now, settle down the folks from Ember Step. They send us supplies grown in those dust houses of theirs. We could get more." He nods to himself. "And then there's the song crews." He rubs his chin. "What we need from them is scouting and security. We don't need that docking access of theirs, but some careful scavenging. It could be our fleet. These folks, they know you, Sleeper. You earned their trust already." He put a hand on your shoulder. "I've sent my requests out. They seem to be complying, but I need you out there, making sure the work gets done. Time is our greatest enemy now." Full stares into the distance. "I need you out there, speeding things up." Okay. Full nods. "All right then." He climbs off the crate, his suit hissing as he does. "Think of it this way. Either way, you won't have to deal with me much longer." He smiles his uneven smile. "Unless, of course, you're planning to come along for the trip." "I'm considering it." Soul nods. "Lots to think about." He winks. "Just don't let it get in your way." Soul waves a hand and starts off towards the bay's entrance, the crackling sound of the welding quickly covering up his clinking suit. You watch the workers, the shipyard contractor chatting among them, already looking like he belongs. You push the thoughts of escape, of home, and of the future to the back of your mind and get up. There's always more to do. Better head to the other ships in the flotilla, see what can be done. Well, fuck. The docking axis is in chaos when you arrive. The staccato burst of welding torches, the shouts of crews gathering, a rapid flow of supplies from a kit from a dock to dock. You can tell already that the news of the flotilla's imminent departure has reached this place before you. Come to join the Exodus, Sleeper? Peter approaches you from one of the working crews, a smile on his face, a lightness in his step you haven't seen before. What's happening? Peter gestures to the chaos. The singers are rising, Sleeper. Peter eyes you. I suppose you are here on Soul's orders again? He winks at you. Nothing in Bear's heart likes to do more than ordering people around. I'm here by choice. Fair enough. Just your timing seems to always be a cycle or two after we get some requests from the high ship. He shrugs an exaggerated shrug. Must be a coincidence. Well, Soul has it lucky anyway. His request for us to dismantle the Axis and be the vanguard for the flotilla's onward journey to the Starward Belt aligns perfectly with our plans. What plans? To leave this damned place, of course. We've been bearing ever since the Quran collapsed. If we can build our escape and make the hardships think we are complying with their orders at the same time, then it's a 2-in-1 for us. Peter shakes his head. Those idiots will never see it coming. You're leaving the flotilla? We are our own flotilla, Sleeper. Peter looks away at the busy Axis. We aren't going to tie ourselves to heart and step any longer. Why would we? To help them. Peter scoffs. They are taking on the Valkyries from the eye. That's what I heard. So how about they hurt themselves before they ask us to make up for their bad decisions? Peter looks down. Look, nothing against you or yours, Sleeper. But we have to get out from under the Chateau's tip in half. And this is the time. Peter grimaces. We won't let the flux catch us again. Not a chance. For the first time, you see fear in his eyes. Peter is French. I just kind of throw voices out. I'm gonna be honest. I was originally trying to do sort of Russian, but I keep falling into French. And so he's French. that's what happened there. You want to help us make that leap? Grab a torch, talk to a crew. You are welcome to it. Peter sniffs. Every person here is free to prove themselves. I'll help when I can. Peter nods. Just a stop on the road, Sleeper. I'm afraid that's all this was. Peter glances out past the docking axis. Through the outer windows to the stars beyond. A lot of space out there for those willing to take it. He looks you in the eye. I hope you'll be around before we go. But if not, he smiles. Stay strong. And with that, Peter thumps you on the shoulder and heads back to his crew with a purpose. A direction visible in every step of his rapid stride. I knew you'd come. Aki greets you outside the dust house. Her eyes as bright as always. You're very welcome here, as always. Good to see you, Aki. Aki smiles. And you, Sleeper. Aki puts a hand on your arm. Walk with me. And she guides you past the dust houses. You look inside and see other members of the crew working in the orange dust, planting and tending to the steppe ecosystem. We are to be the suppliers for the evacuees. I'm sure you have heard. We'll put the dust houses to use. She leads you past a dust house, where the dust is less. The orange glow not as bright. The air a little more clean. We are adapting, slowly, but we are adapting. We have to produce food, clothes, necessary things for the journey ahead. She smiles. The plants of steppe are once again sustaining a population, and that makes me proud. Aki stops at a half-empty dust house, scoured of its sand. It is being filled with mulch. We brought this from the Greenway. She stares at the green and brown, a strange sight, even to you. Now that you're used to the amber dust of the steppe. I admit, it is hard work for us. We are not familiar with these plants. Can you help us? Aki meets your eye. I will do my best. Thank you. She nods solemnly. I know that the eye is suffering. It is at risk. I know what that's like. Hakari? Hello, 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 you wonderful goober. What were you up to over in your Pokemon? Sunken Cost Palace? What happened? Bash your head against something a little bit too much? If y'all are coming over from Hakari's place, or maybe you don't already know that wonderful koi shark, let me make it easy for you to give them a follow and check them on out when they get up to some fantastic game. You beat Alpha Sapphire with a single sunken. Nice. Streaming is hard work, and after a victory like that, you got a raid and run that's no scale off my tail. At the very least, you can stand up, wiggle around, leave a piss, take a water, grab a snack. You know what? Here, you can take my blanket and get cozy. All right. Any of y'all fresh faces, if you don't know me, I am Dreki Draconic Serpent, Flightless Dragon, or simply Worm on the internet. I don't know why that hydrate didn't throw a water bottle at me, but I will still drink. Thank you. Delicious. We are playing Citizen Sleeper, and we are pretty much at the end of the game. We're like in the last little arc thing. It's a very interesting game with a lot of cool characters and fun stories in this sci-fi dystopia, something. Ran away from our corporate indentured servitude to make our own life. It's a beautiful, amazing game. Fun stories. Yeah, some of them made me cry. That's for sure. But we are trying to survive all of our electronics getting fried. So feel free to kick back and relax and enjoy whatever silly voices I throw out here. Yes. Although I can't fly, so it's more of like a convergent evolution situation. Like I'm not really related to old cats myself. As a worm, I'm more closely related to Jormungandr. It's just anything raised in the jungle has kind of got a bit of a vibrant plumage, you know? I wish I had a lesson to share with you from our loss on Steppe. She shakes her head, but for the moment, I cannot see what that might be. She gathers herself. If it gives you meaning, work here is steady and worthwhile. But if you do not have time, she smiles a weak smile. I will not blame you. Hold on to your memories, not too tightly. She pauses. Sadness will not sustain you. She falls silent. You both watch while they work in the dust houses for a while. You can already see the greening fringe of moss on the mulch in the dust house. The first few signs of life. Will you soon be like the people of Steppe, leaving behind a home? Or will you be stubborn and hold your ground, despite what it might mean? You wait a little longer with Aki. A moment, a welcome suspension in time. A rare moment in this rush towards an end. Glance at Aki. Puts a hand on your shoulder in solidarity. After a short while, Aki sighs. It's good to see you, Sleeper. Perhaps we will see each other again before we depart. She walks away, fingertips brushing against the glass of the dust house windows. Aki turns back for a moment, as if she wants to say something, and thinks better of it, and turns away. lot of stuff competing for our time with these dice. Okay. End our cycle. Oh yeah, the music is amazing. Beautiful. All right, got some good rolls. Okay, we do need another spore. We use one of our 3s. Nice. Sucks that we only got one. Hopefully I don't need more. I should also fix my energy. +3, baby. Okay, we need to head up to the hub. Put a spore. Got a vinyl record. Ooh, nice. I think this would be a great one to have on vinyl. I should keep my eye out if they do a repress. As you leave, the slate Pete gives you chirps insistently. You check and see a message. Found a possible entry in the core facility in the low end. Meet me here ASAP. Peek. A blinking marker gives you their position. As on the free spoke side of the main block. Better to head to the low end. Okay, but like, I'm pretty sure I already know where the core is, because killer. I'm really hoping the killer and my decision in that tree comes back in a good way. You arrive at the coordinates given by Peak's slate, a rundown but active corner of the low end, where a short, glass-roofed alley turns off one of the main thoroughfares. Oh, thank you for your head pats. You wait in the mouth of the alley, leaning against the wall and watching the street life go by. Children hop across grids scratched down into metal floor plates, playing games of their own devising, while older residents sit and talk or play Tavala. I have Hard Space Shipbreaker, and I've been thinking of playing it eventually. The only thing I've heard about that from some friends with similar tastes is that it's kinda heavy-handed. Like, it kinda goes... some of the characters and things in it are a little bit much and kinda potato. Not handled as well as they could have been. But I don't know. It seems like it would be interesting. It's hard to believe that this is all that threat. It seems so concrete, so real. How could some intangible protocol erase all this? As you're watching, a voice calls out to you from one of the Tavala tables set up along the way. You move a little closer and recognize the sitting player immediately. Caster sits, Vala pieces of board ready in front of him, smiling at you. Sleeper, your partner has not arrived for our usual game. Come, please, take our place. He beckons you over, standing and nudging you to sit down with him. The rematch is in order. You owe me a game. Almost immediately, Caster begins the game. Everyone on the eye knows how to play Tavala. The methodical movement of the counters across their triangular points. Ready fit for the rhythm of life on this ramshackle space station. Hey, but how is it different from backgammon? Those games begin the same way, with each player moving with independence, focused only on achieving their optimal early game setup. There is a moment in each game where it becomes necessary to notice the other player, to anticipate the crossing of the counters across the board, point of contact. When routine becomes negotiation, negotiation becomes conflict. Something board game metaphor. As this moment arrives, this subtle shift in the texture of the interaction, Caster begins to speak. I begin to find myself surprised by you continually, Sleeper. He looks over his glasses at you. The way you conduct yourself, for example, suggests an anxious refrain, a defensive protective quality. But in your Tavala game, he pauses to move a counter. That's the only risk. What are you talking about? Risk, sleeper. I'm talking about risk. Risk is, of course, necessary to play Tavala. To move a piece is to expose it, but it should be done with calculation, with proper analysis. Then, if a piece is taken, caster moves a counter, taking one of yours with a practiced swap, placing it beside the board. It is already accounted for. But you move forward with abandon, as if risk was just a secondary effect of action, a consequence, and not its primary guide. He gestures for you to take your turn. A cause. I play my way. He smiles. Indeed, indeed. That is all I seek. You move your piece. This locks you into being reactive. If you don't mind me saying so. You are responding, which means you are being led. He leans back to consider the board. This place, it mirrors you, sleeper. It is also reactive. It was born from a crisis, the collapse of Solheim. And ever since, it has been reacting without any central guiding principle. No analysis, no calculation. Just look at our refugee crisis, for example. It is all reaction, all risk-taking, a little risk calculation. At first, I found the chaos enlivening, especially when trying to track its outcomes. Now, I find it exhausting. He laughs. It always amuses me that this place is literally spun from the rim. Below this very stack of habitation blocks is the most important control facility on the eye. Spun from the rim. He laughs again. What better metaphor could you find for disorder? His face drops. But why am I telling you that? That facility is precisely why you are here. He smiles an unsettlingly warm smile. You feel a shiver through your body, as if something has changed in the air. What is this? No words come out of your mouth. You feel removed from yourself, watching from behind frosted glass. Your eyes dart side to side. Inertia sets in. Caster is still smiling. The risk you are planning to take here, sleeper, is not yours to take. Caster's tone is unshifted. He speaks as if this is some casual conversation between passing acquaintances. You are leaping towards a chaotic outcome with no respect for risk. You see, calculating outcomes, it's my specialty. That's why I am here. I was hired as a conduit for risk, as a collector of data that might pertain to its arrival. He removes his glasses to clean them. You see something flicker across the surface, a shimmering stream of characters. This system, this station, is already theirs. Solheim's collapse meant a corporate fire sale. Assets changed hands. My employers, Senate Stat, bought out the entire system. For the past decades, I've been its one valid owner. He polishes his glasses diligently. But to possess this system, the H1 system, he pauses. Helion, to you. Well, that is a matter of risk. How much force, how much cost, how much conflict a clearance would take. He replaces his glasses. That risk must be calculated against the favorable outcome. In short, how much is this place worth to us? For a long time, the answer was nothing. H1 could offer nothing that would warrant the risk. But the markets change, the demands shift. In Senate Stat, we analyze, we follow, we respond. He puts his glasses back on his face. H1 is about to become the most important system in this part of the galaxy. He glances around. The lone Khan channel, operating within range of 7 or so newly surveyed resource-rich systems. The frontier town that feeds the gold rush, so to speak. So here we are, reevaluating the risk, reclaiming our property, starting up the con channel, and clearing the way for what comes next. He sits back, looking at the board. He gestures. Your move. You'll kill thousands. He managed to force out the words. Caster looks a little surprised. I'm an analyst, Sleeper. I will do nothing. He shakes his head. The Senate stat as a corporate body will take the required actions. Of course, I do not need to explain myself to you. But in the role as an analyst, in my calculations, I see great promise in you. Your ability to enter systems, to shift them to your will. Not every sleeper has this capacity. I assume you know that. He smiles. Truly is a wonderful happenstance of SNOP's technology. I imagine even they are not fully aware of it. He takes his move, claiming another of your pieces. As you watch, you realize the inevitability of his victory. And that's when we enact protocol Pigeon Tavala, where you flip the board over, shit all over them, and declare victory. Which is actually very impressive, because our body doesn't need to defecate. We actively, consciously tell our body to do that action. And I gotta tell you, the worst part about it is that I have to reload it later. The only winning move is not play or something. Yes, exactly. Look, Caster, you got a lot of plans. You know, you've analyzed all these spreadsheets. But I'm afraid you forgot to account for one teensy little move I'm able to avail myself that old Kemp found out earlier. I call it spacing the motherfucker in my way. I gotta tell ya, up here on this space station, we're surrounded by a lot of space. And man, I got bad aim when I throw, but I got a lot of winning angles. So yeah, make your winning move. I'll make a losing throw. I will make you an offer. You come willingly, or come by force. The station will collapse. We can be sure of that. But your ability to work with data, well, for an analyst, it is very intriguing. He pauses to push his glasses up to his nose. Very intriguing indeed. He glances around. Come with me as a collaborator or as a prisoner. Consider the risk. One hand, almost certain death. On the other, possible future. Analyst or not, you must see it. Speak now, Sleeper. The game is forfeit. You must see that. He holds out a hand. You are of value. You are needed. Quoth Dreki. Yarr, walk the plank. Feel a slight release in the inertia that grips you, enough to allow you to speak, to respond. You realize that you're already in Caster's hands. You cannot move from this place if you wanted. Sleeper? You hear the familiar voice above the crowds. Sleeper, I'm here. You're unable to turn your head to see Peak. You notice Caster's eyes following them as they come up from behind you. Then you see Caster's eyes glance down towards his hands, concealed beneath the table. Sleeper! Peak comes around the front of you and waves a hand in your face. You're supposed to be meeting, remember? They glance at Caster. Sorry, am I interrupting something? You cannot speak. Caster shoots Peak a wide smile. Hello! You must be a friend of Sleeper. You watch one of his hands lift. Close to his body, some dark shape concealed in it. A weapon. You try to scream, to shout. The caster's attention remains partially on you, and while it does, you can do nothing. Peek glances at your static form. What's happening here? Sleeper? They put a hand on your shoulder. You okay? As Peek stares into your eyes, you see Caster behind, his hand lifting, the dark object unfolding. And in the split moment it does, you feel his attention shifting to Peek, shifting away from you. As you do, feel the inertia lifting. And you know this is the only moment you will have to act. Oh, we shove them out of the way. You lurch forward wildly, like a sprung trap. Your head strikes Peek's chest, and then carries them back into Caster. Somewhere, a digital screech is echoing through the walkway. They tumble together. The object in Caster's hand skitters across the floor. You realize the screech is you. You get to your feet, grab Peek, and run. You run as hard as you can, the scream chasing you down the walkway as you shove through the residence. Peek dragged behind. You run from the cold grip of whatever power Caster had over you, the signals that locked you into this body of yours, that broke the connections and crawled up your spine. Eventually, you stop, with you and Peek collapsing, heaving, breathing into the cold metal floor. They're able to speak. Peek asks you to explain. You tell them everything Caster told you. About Senate Stat, about their claim on the Helion system, their activation of the Khan channel, the Helion system's growing importance. It flows out of you with desperate gulps, unable to believe your own mouth as you hear these words coming back to you. All you feel is the need to push back against the cold hand on your shoulder, the vast, cold eye that is turned to look at this system, the ghost limbs of corporate control that are extending their reach. Peek is quiet for a long time. Then they speak. You have to finish this, Sleeper. They meet your eye. We have to complete the seeding of the systems. We have to set the gardener free. You're right. If the choice is between Gardner and these people, I will choose Gardner every time. Their eyes are cold and steely. I would choose anything over them. You stand together. The final control facility is here. I found it. Peek looks at you grimly. I can take you as soon as you are ready. Time's almost up. This is the only shot you'll have. I mean, I have a 6 locked and loaded. Hackerman. Fucking do this shit. Hell yeah. All right. Kipty. Self-repair. End the cycle. Oof. Meanwhile, at the Yachtigan,